Hello everyone, welcome to back my channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before starting the video, please go ahead and hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Adam Pearce is under a lot of stress at present, especially with WrestleMania 41 merely weeks away and the Women's World Championship picture looking like a mess. Finally, Adam Pearce was able to make the decision to turn it into a triple threat match at WrestleMania 41 this week on WWE Raw. But as Rhea Ripley made her way out to the ring, Adam Pearce had a major botch when he claimed that she was representing the Judgment Day. Ripley hasn't been associated with the heel stable since SummerSlam last year, when the group turned their back on her and Damian Priest. Ripley didn't seem affected by the botch since she continued with the segment and eventually signed the contract, officially getting added to the WrestleMania 41 match for the Women's World Championship. She lost the title earlier in the year. The segment eventually turned into a brawl since Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley had a lot of ongoing tension. After they ignored Io Shirai once again, the current champion stepped out of the ring, only to springboard back in and knock Ripley into Belair to remain the last woman standing. After which she too officially signed the contract. After the segment, Pearce reacted to his botch on X/Twitter by posting a GIF. It will be interesting to see who comes out on top at WrestleMania 41 when these three women collide next weekend. WWE Raw is known for its action-packed atmosphere, electrifying moments, and the surprises that keep fans on the edge of their seats. The Raw after WrestleMania is often a monumental night, setting the tone for future storylines and leaving lasting impressions on fans. However, the April 2025 edition of WWE Raw took an unexpected turn when a major botch occurred involving two significant players in the WWE universe, Adam Pearce and Rhea Ripley. Pearce, WWE's Director of Operations and a key authority figure, has frequently been at the forefront of storyline decisions. Meanwhile, Rhea Ripley, the Women's World Champion, has quickly established herself as one of the top stars of the women's division. She's strong, intimidating, and skilled. Everything a champion should be. But on this particular night, something went terribly wrong when a botch occurred during the opening segment of Raw, shaking the confidence of those involved and sending shockwaves throughout the WWE universe. The build-up. The excitement for WWE Raw had been building for weeks. WrestleMania 41 had just concluded, and fans were eagerly awaiting the fallout. One of the major storylines heading into the Raw after WrestleMania was the ongoing drama between Rhea Ripley and her various challengers, as well as Adam Pearce's role as a moderator and decision-maker. Ripley had just retained her Women's World Championship in a hard-fought battle at WrestleMania, and as expected, her character was positioned as both the center of attention and a dominant figure moving forward. The opening segment for this particular edition of Raw was planned as a monumental moment. Adam Pearce, who had taken on a more prominent role in recent months, was set to appear in the ring to announce the next chapter in the women's title picture. Fans had been speculating for days about who would be the next challenger to Ripley's title. And with the stakes high, the tension was palpable. The idea was for Pearce to step into the ring, address the crowd, and introduce Ripley, who would deliver a promo outlining her dominance. The segment would set the stage for Ripley's next major feud. However, what was supposed to be a showcase of Pearce's leadership and Ripley's formidable presence turned into a chaotic moment that left the fans in disbelief. The opening segment. The show began as usual with the standard fireworks, theme music, and pyro to hype up the crowd. The fans in the arena were buzzing with excitement, knowing that the Raw after WrestleMania was usually a night of unpredictability. As the camera panned to the ring, Adam Pearce was already there, standing confidently in his suit, ready to take control of the evening's events. "Ladies and gentlemen," Pearce began, his voice booming over the microphone. "Tonight, we are kicking off a brand new chapter in WWE history, and I am proud to announce that Rhea Ripley, your Women's World Champion, will be in action in a few weeks at the next pay-per-view." The fans erupted in applause, eager to see what would unfold. Pearce continued speaking about the challenges Ripley had overcome and the high stakes of her title reign. But as the moment began to settle, there was an unexpected twist. Instead of the usual music signaling Ripley's entrance, The crowd was left in silence. There was confusion for a brief moment, followed by the sound of an awkward rustling through the headset of the production crew. "Can we get Ripley's music up?" Pearce asked, his frustration beginning to show. "What's going on?" After a few long seconds, the familiar music of Rhea Ripley blared through the speakers, and the fans were finally able to react. However, the confusion continued as Ripley emerged from backstage looking a bit more flustered than usual. She walked down the ramp, her usual confident swagger noticeably absent. Something was off, but the fans weren't sure why yet. Ripley made her way into the ring, but as she climbed through the ropes, the unthinkable happened. Ripley appeared to trip on the bottom rope, stumbling slightly before regaining her balance. It wasn't just a small misstep. Ripley had completely lost her footing for a moment, and the stumble sent shockwaves through the audience. While it wasn't catastrophic, it was noticeable, and a camera zoomed in to catch the mishap. Ripley quickly recovered, but her face showed a hint of embarrassment. She looked over at Pearce, who had an expression of mild confusion. There was an awkward pause as Ripley gathered herself. Pearce, trying to salvage the moment, gave her a nod of encouragement, but the moment was already tainted. "Rhea, are you all right?" Pearce asked, attempting to keep the situation lighthearted. Ripley nodded quickly, attempting to regain control of the segment. "I'm fine, Adam," she said, though her tone betrayed a touch of frustration. "Let's just get this over with." The botch. What went wrong? As the segment continued, the botch became more apparent. Ripley, clearly thrown off by the initial stumble, found it difficult to regain her rhythm. She had a scripted promo in front of her, but it wasn't coming across as it usually would. She was stumbling over words and pausing more frequently than normal, as if trying to remember the lines. The crowd, usually quick to cheer Ripley, seemed to pick up on the awkwardness in the air. Pearce, ever the professional, attempted to fill in the gaps, but it was clear that both of them were now struggling to regain control of the moment. The segment, which was meant to set up Ripley's next challenger, had taken a backseat to the embarrassment of the botch. The most glaring issue was that Ripley's confidence, something that had always been her strong suit, was visibly shaken. As a result, her promo seemed disjointed, and her usual charisma wasn't able to shine through. Instead of leaving the audience captivated, Ripley's stumbles left many fans in the arena and at home feeling awkward and unsure of what had just transpired. The aftermath. The aftermath of the botch was immediate and felt throughout the entire episode. Although Pearce and Ripley tried to move forward with the segment, the damage had been done. Ripley's promo was eventually cut short as she angrily threw the microphone down and stormed out of the ring. Pearce, sensing the tension, awkwardly addressed the fans, trying to make light of the situation. "Ladies and gentlemen, I assure you, Rhea Ripley is the fiercest champion we have. Let's give her some time to collect herself," Pearce said, attempting to regain some control over the chaotic scene. In the days that followed, the WWE Universe reacted to the incident in various ways. Social media was flooded with clips of the botch, and wrestling fans debated what had gone wrong. Some speculated that Ripley had been distracted backstage, while others pointed to an issue with her ring attire or the setup for the segment. It was a topic of heated discussion, but what became clear was that both Ripley and Pearce had, at least in that moment, become part of an embarrassing chapter in WWE history. Moving forward, how will WWE handle the fallout? For WWE, this was an opportunity to either recover or let the incident affect future storylines. It was apparent that Ripley would need some time to recover her footing, both literally and figuratively. Fans know that she is one of the most capable and charismatic performers in WWE, but the botch had created a moment of doubt. WWE quickly pivoted, using the incident as part of the storyline. In the weeks that followed, Ripley appeared in segments where she would address her mistake, showing a more vulnerable side of her character. In true WWE fashion, the company leaned into the narrative of Ripley overcoming adversity and bouncing back from a rare stumble. On the other hand, Adam Pearce took a more subtle approach. His role as the authority figure had always been a bit more neutral, but the botch put him in a difficult position. He had to walk the fine line of supporting Ripley while also managing the chaos that arose from her misstep. WWE capitalized on Pearce's leadership skills, giving him more moments of authority in the weeks that followed. His ability to manage the fallout from the botch, along with Ripley's recovery, became a crucial element in WWE's ongoing storyline. Conclusion: the botch between Adam Pearce and Rhea Ripley at the start of WWE Raw 2025 was a rare moment of imperfection in an otherwise flawless product. While it could have been a career-altering misstep for Ripley, WWE managed to turn it into an angle that showcased her resilience and determination. For Pearce, the incident added another layer to his character, showing that even the most well-laid plans can be disrupted by unforeseen circumstances. Ultimately, the Raw after WrestleMania may have begun with a botch, but it ended up being a story of overcoming adversity, both for the characters involved and the company as a whole. The segment proved that in WWE, even a major mishap can turn into an opportunity for growth and redemption. Fans would be left eagerly awaiting the next chapter in Ripley's journey, knowing that the fallout from that moment could lead to even greater things for the champion in the future. Thanks for watching this video, and please subscribe our WWE official YouTube channel for more update news.